Three, two, one, go. What is up, guys? Nick Hernandez back here with another episode of NHTV. Today, I've got the Honor 8 in my possession. I'm going to be giving you the top 8 reasons why I love this device and why I think it's one of the better phones of 2016. But to give you a little bit of background, I bought this phone on B&H Photo and Video for $330. It's the 64GB white version, as you can tell by the color. And it currently MSRPs for about $450, but I'm going to be doing the review based off of the price point that I purchased. Plus, as of today, Amazon is offering this same type of configuration for this device for around $380. So you can expect the price to range between those two figures. But without further ado, let's get into the review. The number one thing that I love about this device is the two 12 megapixel cameras on the back. So we've got a monochrome sensor and an RGB sensor with laser assisted autofocus, dual LED flash. It only records up to 1080p video, but that's okay in my opinion. And it has software image stabilization, so no optical image stabilization, but the laser assisted autofocus will help you with that. Overall, this takes fantastic photos. And just to give you a little bit of a background of the photos that I've taken with it, I took it out on a boat show day in Miami, and honestly, it took fantastic photos while I was there. It's got great dynamic range, great color reproduction. It does well in low lighting situations. And oftentimes, I was wowed by some of the camera photos that I took on here and some of the different details I was able to get, even though this phone has 12 megapixels and my normal phone has 16 megapixels, which is the OnePlus 3. So hats off to Honor for making a great camera on this device. The front camera is an 8 megapixel camera. It does a pretty decent job, but overall the real winner here is the two 12 megapixel cameras on the back. And just to give you a little bit of a guide into the software is pretty standard. You tap to focus and then you can click the shutter to shoot. You've got some modes that if you swipe to the right while on the camera screen, you can get into, like Pro Photo, which is your manual modes, HDR, good food, light painting, panorama, all the different works. And if you scroll to the left, you have your different adjustments that you can make in order to adjust the resolution, do some GPS tagging, assistive grid, all that kind of stuff you can go into here. And you can also do some image adjustments so that after the shot, different image adjustment settings can be set. Overall, this is a fantastic software. This is pretty good in my opinion in terms of the camera quality. It's amazing. And one feature that I really do like here is that they have a wide aperture enabled mode. So you can tap into focus on a very close object, take a picture, and then go into the photo after the fact and adjust the aperture in order to get some of that like bokeh effect that you see on some of the higher end cameras. It works pretty well for this device, better than some of the HTC phones that I tested it out on when I had those phones in the past. And those phones really didn't have the two 12 megapixel sensors on the back, so I expect it to not be as good as this one, but I was really blown away by some of the shots I was able to take and some of the different effects I could play around with. Also, you have different filters that you can apply to the images after the fact. And while you're actually about to take the photo as well, you can go into those different filters and basically play around from there. So really good camera as well for different filters for your Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you want to do. The next feature I want to talk about, and this is my second favorite feature, is just the one-handed usability. So nowadays phones are coming bigger and bigger. The standard is about 5.5 inches of screen, and this phone comes with a 5.2 inch 1080p display, which I'm not going to talk too much about the display. It's a normal LCD display. It gets pretty saturated. I can't say it's any better than an OLED panel or anything better than I've seen in the past, but it's good enough for being able to watch videos and look at photos and do everything that you want while looking and enjoying the content. But overall, the one-handed usability of this phone is fantastic. As you've seen, for the most part, I've been using this phone with one hand, and I'm going to continue to use it with one hand just to show you how well you can navigate this phone by not having to bring in your extra hand so you can be doing other things at the same time. But overall, I really love the fact that it's a smaller device, it's got good one-handed usability, and it fits really nice in the hand. The next and third feature I want to talk about is just the design. So the back of this device comes with a glass back. It's supposed to be a 15-layer glass back, and what that does is help create different light patterns on the back of the device that you wouldn't get on any other glass back phone. And I really can say that although we can't see it too much, in good lighting situations, you do see some really nice patterns on the back, and it has a really nice, beautiful effect to it. I can't say I love it more than a metal back, but I will say that it's one of the more beautiful glass back phones that I've ever seen. So hats off to them for putting in the work for the design department. On the side, you have metal sides. So these are actually gold. So if you get the white version, they come with gold sides. The black versions will come with like a gray side, and the blue version will come with a blue colored side. But these are like a champagne gold, and I really like the look on it. It gives it a nice classy look. It's not overdoing it like on some gold phones, and it really looks nice and pairs nice with the white backing and the white front. But just to give you a little more rundown of also with the form factor here, we've got your power button, your volume rocker. You've got on the left-hand side of the device, you've got nothing but your SIM tray. On the top, you've got an IR blaster if you want to control your TV. On the bottom, you've got a USB Type-C port, a speaker, and a headphone jack, which has gone away from many phones nowadays, so it's nice to see it there just in case you don't want to ever get rid of your normal headphone setup. But overall, I love the design of this device. It's a high-quality build even for the price that it sits at, and it really is nice and hefty, not too hefty in the hand, but nice and hefty enough to make it feel like you're holding a premium device. The fourth feature that I want to get into, and really that I love about this device, is this fingerprint scanner. So the Honor 8 has always come up with some great fingerprint scanners, and well, Honor in general has come up with some great fingerprint scanners, and they really work well because it's not only just a fingerprint scanner, and it works very fast to unlock the device. And I'll just show you guys again how fast it does work to unlock the device, but there's also different features that you can use on it as well. So for example, it doesn't just only unlock the device, but you can also press down on it like you would do on an iPhone. So you press down on it and it'll perform an action, whatever action you want to do. That's actually customizable in the settings. So press that down once, open my camera, press it down twice, opens Google, and really it just performs well. And I really love the fact that you have the ability to go into some quick different actions there. Let me try again. There you go. So double tap, opens YouTube, and tap and hold opens Google. So I got a little mixed up there, but there's 3 different features that you can do there to open the device, and those are all customizable in the settings under the Smart Assistant setting there. Go into Smart Key, and you've got your 3 different settings that you can go in and change to whatever you really want to do. So hats off to them again for adding some additional functionality into the fingerprint scanner. And also one feature that really most smartphone manufacturers don't think of, it's swiping down on the home button on this fingerprint scanner in order to bring down the notification shade. So really cool feature there. Again, adds to the one-handed usability of this device. And I have to say, Honor continue to do that work, continue to add, continue to build on that fingerprint scanner in order to add some more usability. And other smartphone manufacturers, if you're out there, start adding some more usability features into your fingerprint scanner, because you can do so much with it and add so much more one-handed usability for your users. The 5th thing that I want to get into is the speed. So this phone is very fast. Again, it comes with a HiSilicon Kirin 950 processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and to be honest, I never found a point where I didn't have enough processing power to go through my day-to-day tasks. And that's just the normal standard for most Android phones nowadays, with the more optimal Android versions coming out and the performance of the chipsets just getting better over time, which is a normal thing for most hardware that's coming out over time. So hats off to them for the fast, zippy performance that you have here. Rarely was I in a situation where I felt like I wasn't getting good multitasking performance, or the phone was getting hot because it was just running too fast. And that's another good thing about this device, is that it stays relatively cool throughout the whole process. I played a few games on it just to give you a reference. It benchmarks like a Snapdragon 820, and overall the games played smooth. There was no ladder, there was no shutter for the graphics or anything like that while playing the game. So overall, good experience in the speed. The sixth feature that I want to talk about is the fast charging. So I really love fast charging. I fell in love with fast charging when I got my dash charger for the OnePlus 3. And while the OnePlus 3 charges a little bit faster in my opinion, this is still very fast for this device. And I was getting about 2 extra hours of screen on time with about 30 minutes of charge, which is really enough. At the end of the day, if you really need the charge and you have to only have the opportunity to charge for 30 minutes to get 2 hours of screen on time is perfect. That's really something you can't ask for in most phones. And nowadays phones are starting to adopt faster and faster quick charging. But I would say that for this device is on the faster end of the fast charging compared to other phones, like in the class of the OnePlus 3. But just to go into that same feature, so if we're talking about fast charging, the seventh feature that I love about this device, and that is the battery life. So the battery in this device is a 3000 milliamp hour battery. It pairs well with the HiSilicon Kirin 950 processor, the optimizations to Android 7.0, which this version of EMUI is running, and that's going to be the next feature that I'm going to talk about. And the fact that there's just so much optimization in the background. So if you go into Phone Manager on this device, you have different battery settings where you can optimize and you can close some apps that are draining too much power. It'll give you a reading of, hey, you're going to extend battery life by 263 minutes by doing this. It's a little aggressive. I don't think it works as well because after 30 minutes, then you've got to re-optimize. But overall, it does a great job over the day. I get about 4 hours of screen on time. At the end of the day, I'm ending my battery percentage at about 30%, so that's good enough for me. And if you really need to charge it, again, you throw in the fast charger and you're golden. So great battery life on this device with great performance. And these are just all recipes for success. But the eighth and final feature that I want to talk about with this device that I love is the software. So the software is not running a pure Android, but it is very good. It's running the EMUI software 5.0, which is the newest software for Honor, which is based off of Android 7.0. So it is very fast, very fluid. There's some optimizations baked into here. You have your normal theme settings and you have your normal ability to change things like your transitions or add widgets, things like that. Normal features that you see on this device. And you also have the ability to do some multitasking. So if I go in here, drag up to the top of the device, and then try to select another app to pair with it, it'll work in portrait mode and it'll work in landscape mode as well. Very good feature, very easy feature to use, and I really cannot complain with the performance and the software optimizations that are on here. Again, it's not a pure version of Android. You do have some of its quirks. So for example, normally this phone does not come with an app drawer. I had to set it, but the fact that you have the opportunity to customize and to do things on your own without having to really compromise whether you want an app drawer or don't want an app drawer or want to go download a launcher. Those things are just baked into the software, which I really do appreciate. And there's really not too much bloatware here. There's a lot of Honor apps that are built into here, but some of the ones that you really take advantage of are things like the Honor Health app, which will show you your steps and show you all of those different things and your exercise history and how far you've run. And you can also track your weight, so that's a pretty useful feature. You've also got Smart Controller for the IR Blaster on the top. You've got High Care, which is just a manual and a forum service, and you can go in and check to see if you don't know what to do on your device. You can go there, you can call customer service, you can do all of those things, check in and talk to people on forums to see if you need to do any troubleshooting or learn about any of the new features really. So overall, great software package and overall just a great phone package. So this phone, honestly, I will recommend to anyone, just like I recommended the OnePlus 3. It's a different level of device just because it's a little bit smaller and there's a couple other different features in there that make it a little bit different from the OnePlus 3. But if you are looking for a device and you want to purchase this smartphone, I would 100% recommend it. And I would also recommend that you try to get the 64 gigabyte version of it just because it's a little bit more value if you want to sell it in the future or if you just want to have more photos or anything like that on the device. But overall, great device, great buy. I recommend it 150%. I'm going to be selling it, unfortunately, because I have to only keep one phone for myself. So I'm going to be keeping the OnePlus 3, going to be selling this device on swappa.com. And without further ado, I'm just going to say goodbye to you guys. So thanks again for watching this video. If you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up button. If you didn't like this video, still click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. So you can't really do anything there, just do one or the other. And if you have any questions and if you want to learn a little bit more about the device that I didn't talk about in this review, I'll be happy to answer those questions in the comments below. So thanks again, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Later.